Okay, so I've got this oil filter housing gasket and check valve from Clifex. We're gonna see how this works. Here's what it looks like on the inside. Pretty nice packaging. Here's the check valve. Comes with the springs, so you don't have to transfer over like a lot of other ones I've seen. Seems to be good. It's red, so it gives you extra horsepower. Here's a gasket. Looks good so far. So let's move over to the car. Alright, first things first, I want to remove that 10mm for the air box. And I like to take the clips off of right here. And there's one like 8 or 7mm that goes on the back that connects the silencer, I think it is. On the underside, I can show you that. So this right here is the silencer. It's connected to the air box over here, right on that spot right there. I just leave mine disconnected because it doesn't really hurt anything, doesn't really go anywhere. So it just makes it easier whenever you're taking out the air box just to take that off and these two metal clips right here. So, slide that on. That's the airbox off. Okay, and you want to grab yourself a ratchet. I'm using a 16mm here, and you kind of want to just go about a 5 o'clock position and push down and then bring back up. You want to make sure that it's small enough so that you're not going to hit that that coolant, that upper radiator hose, or any of the lower ones. And I just used a 3/8 drive. Pushed down, and then I scooped it off of the power steering pump pulley because that was just the easiest one that I could get to. All right, and now that we got that off, we can just slide the top of this off. And as of right now, it was sort of pinched in between, the belt was pinched in between the tensioner and the idler pulley. And to me, that just kind of helps so that I don't have to reroute the left side of the engine. All right, and next we're gonna go ahead and take off the idler pulley. Now you want to take a little pocket screwdriver or something, and pop off this cover, and that should reveal our bolts. That idler bolt is also a 16, so let's go ahead and take that off. Just gonna trim this the rest of the way out. Wow, that's hot. Yeah, make sure your engine cools off. I don't really have time, so I'm not gonna be doing that, but it's very important. Yeah, here's that. This is the bolt, what it looks like, 16mm. Alright, and before we go any further into disassembling the alternator, or getting it off, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery. Alright, and back here, I have this little cover, pull down, and release it to your battery, voila. And always disconnect the ground side first. So this one on the right with the ground is the ground. Just come in like that. Maybe put my ratcheting side on it. Don't need to go too much. It doesn't need to come all the way up either. That aside, and we'll just pull this off and tuck that somewhere. Alright, now we have no power to the car. Okay, and back here, I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's a power. That one. We can take that off. That's a 17mm. And I'm gonna just come into the top, break it loose, and then use my electric ratchet. And here's what that looks like. For the power cable. And we also have a connector that when you disconnect right here, you just push in on that tab and then pull it. And next to make my life a little easier, I'm going to take out the two 10mm of holding the power steering bracket in. You're going to take off any lines. Those are not 10s. Alright, I believe they're 13s. And then take this whole pump and move her over. That looks good enough to me. Alright, and back to getting our alternator out. There is another 16 millimeter. I don't know if we can see that, but right there. That's what we need to be getting at. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Alright, I'm coming in right like this. I'm gonna power steering. I'm gonna use this and a small extension and come to the side of it. I'll see what this does for me. Yeah, that definitely worked. Let's take this force, that bolt out, but see the alternators found. Alright, got that bottom bolt out. Here's what it looks like. It's pretty long. That was a 16 millimeter. Alright, and I should be able to pull this. Yep. One thing to keep in mind, there's a duct on here that we gotta line up when we go back in, but here's where that bolt sits, that bottom bolt. Okay, now that we got that out, I believe there are only 6 bolts that are really holding us in. Yeah, it should be only 6. There's this one at the top, that one right there, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I did forget that you need to take off these 2 power steering bolts right there. I'm just gonna come in here with a little 13 millimeter and extension. Right. Just let that hang right there. The one on the left is shorter. So this one was to the right, this one was to the left. Both 13 mils. And I'm just gonna start on the outside ones and then work my way in. Whoever did this last in this car was not playing about setting them bolts. I'm gonna just zip those out with the electric ratchet and all that. Alright, and hopefully this should come out now. Oh, 19 millimeter for the Vanos one. Idiot. And whenever you take this off, you definitely want to do washers for it as well. And it's probably gonna leak, so it is definitely going to leak. So put a little towel on the. That. And now we should be able to come on. Oh, there's a connector right here. One of those push in and pull off. Put that aside. Make sure no wires are being caught. And try to enable this out. It is hot as crap. Oh my god. Holy crap. Ouch. Oh, there's another connector on the back as well. I suck at these connectors. That loose. Ouch. Ow, that hurts. God. This is hot. But here it is. Ow. Okay. Finally got it out. Here's the housing. Here's all the stuff on the back of it. And this is that check valve I was talking about. Look how messed up it is. It's like all loose and stuff. That should not be like that. But let's go get this thing cleaned up, and I'm gonna lay the bolts out like they were in here before I do that. So yeah. Okay, so the top left one, normally the ones sitting higher out towards you are gonna be longer. So here's what that one is. This one's sitting in the back, relatively short. All these were 13 millimeters, by the way. One sitting on the side, middle right. Get that. Bottom right. Middle left. should look. So these two right here, about the same. Both the middle ones are the same, but both the middle ones are also longer than the bottom ones. And then we get the short one, like the bottom one's up in the top right, and the longest one in the top left. All right, and what I've done here is I took the box and I just stuck all the bolts in the box. And this is the top, this is the bottom. That way, even if I somehow manage to forget, I'll have a guide. Okay, before I clean this up, just wanted to show what exactly was going on here. This check valve right here is the one that holds all the oil up in the top of the head, so that when you go to start the car, it doesn't it doesn't have to wait until oil reaches the head from the oil pump flowing up. And this valve right here is supposed to sit flush, but we can see it was kind of sitting like that, so that just allows all the oil to drain past. And with the new style valve that I got, so where this has like edges and stuff that it can catch on, this one is just a ball, so it'll push back and it can't really get caught to either side. It just flows down. So I'll get this cleaned up, get that new gasket on and whatnot. Or actually, I'll take the gasket out, try to get this old check valve out, and then install the new one with the new gasket, and we'll be able to go back together. Okay, so what I'm going to try here is I'm going to try to reach in on the inside of that and then pry it up a little bit. Oh, there we go. It's she's coming. Oh yeah, I can see a little crack there. Holy crap, it's just falling apart. Just pry upside of this. And then maybe if I manage to get if I can get an edge on one of these, I'll just I don't want to break it. If I can get an edge over here, then I'll just take a rag and then kind of like pry it up and out. Okay, managed to get it out. Yeah. Safe to say, if you ever check this out, you can't reuse it when you go to put it back in. I'm gonna make sure that there's no contaminants inside of there, and then I'll clean this up and throw the new gasket on, and then see about. I'm gonna put this in first. Okay, and got the new one. Just drop it in there and put a block of wood over it. The flat side there. Ooh, straight. And just tap it. Went really smooth, actually. It looks even. Actually, no, it doesn't. Actually, right a little bit. Okay, that's nice and flat. That's what I like to see right there. That was way easier than I thought it was going to be, to be honest. I think we mess around and fix something. Alright, now we can throw the new gasket in. I cleaned all these surfaces before. Got a nice groove there. Sick, now we can throw this back in. Okay, and really what we want to do here is make sure that we get to sit on those dowels. Plug in the connector in the back. So this short one wire on this ground connector back here. I believe that's on the downs, so let's get it. Got my little chart with me here, so that I know where everything goes. 1, 2, 3. I'll start tightening. I'll probably start in the middle, go out, out, and then keep doing that. Now, I'm gonna start torquing this one with my heavy torque wrench. Get it nice and snug first. I got a special type of torque wrench, so it lets me know when I'm there. Alright, cool. So that's that. I'm gonna clean up the alternator, and we can throw that in as well. But I'll probably wanna, actually, let's get those on first. Actually, before any of that, I want to, first of all, run this over the nano slide. No, I'm gonna go under the nano slide and around the housing. There's a little filter cap, and we can't forget schedule bolts. Bottom, top. Get my 19. I think that's good. Now we can move down to these, and if I remember correctly, this is on the left, this is on the right. Should be 13s. Okay, I have them both started. So I'm going to keychain real quick. Voila. And then I'll tighten down with the ratchets. Torque them. Alright, next. Oh man, it is dark down there. Alright, next we need to plug in this connector. Alright, there we go. And then I need to get this power cable back on. Alright, she's over, and then that's where the bolt goes. So I'm gonna just go here, shoe over, and I believe this was a 17. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, let's put the belt on. Okay, different approach. I'm gonna go from the bottom and try to like that. There we go. Let's see. I think that works. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure people would love to watch that. You're a funny guy too. Like a comedy show.
Oh, they can see my ass.
Yeah. That part. Let me know when you start posting those videos.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll adjust this, make sure it's on the bottom wall. Alright, and I'm also throwing a little bit of oil in there since we lost some in the process. And so we took out the thing that holds all the oil up in the top of the motor. That helps to put some back. I'm gonna throw this cover. Sweet. Now we can put this little fella. And they go in there. So don't plug the alternator back in until you have the power steering pump or reservoir back in the spot. There's a hose that goes under it. That's where a nice magnet has me help you out. Clumsy right here. Where'd that even go? Oh no. I see. Okay. Sick. Put the air bomb sprinkler on. I always like to take this out. So it's fitting it back on like 10 times easier. And then feed it in there when you leave. That guy is connected. Make sure it fits right. We can zip back on. Throw this guy back in here. Put the bottom in first, and then put the top in. Wow, look at that. Didn't take too long. It took me like an hour, some change. And there's engine bay. And let's also just connect the battery. Like here. I always like to tap the battery down, or the post down on it too, just to give you a good contact. It's probably not how you're supposed to do any of this, but who's gonna stop me? It's my car. Alright. Need to tighten this up. Just pull down here. Make sure I'm all tightened. It's loosened. Sick. That's that. Throw this cover back up on there. And my flashlight just not long down there. Sick. We can close this. Check my oil level. I don't think it's anything catastrophic. Oh yeah, we're still chilling. Look at that. It might go down a little bit after running the car, but yeah, let's see what the startup's like. Alright, everything taking a look around. I do not know what I did with my flashlight. Make sure there's not pouring oil out anywhere. Which, as of right now, they look good. On the car. Not leaking anything yet. That's just a little residue. So far, so good. That sound is probably my Vanos or something that I need to address, but that was there before, so we're not worried about that sound. But everything else looks good for now. So yeah, that's how you do your oil filter housing gasket. It's kind of a sucky tutorial, but you know, hey, it got done, didn't it?